Hey everybody, it's Chris Mahan. Welcome back to another Lead Your Team podcast. It is August 23rd, 2026. And a couple nights ago, my old classmates from Greenville, Michigan had their 40th high school reunion. I was not able to go. I'm down here in Florida. I got things to do. I wanted to go. Haven't seen many people in I don't know how many years. But I was watching their video and seeing some pictures and different things. And there was a table that they showed a picture of. It had candles on it and some different things. As I zoomed in, it was actually a table of those that are no longer here. And I've done a podcast on this a few months ago because one of the people on that table was truly one of my very, very best childhood friends. And he lost his life this past May. And I got to thinking, wow, how is someone so young? We're in our 50s, granted, but it still feels so young. How could these people be losing their lives, so young? Again, I know people die every day, but when it's someone so close to you and you have such fond memories with from childhood, it really does start to hit home. So as I was thinking about the last 40 years, I was thinking, how many days is that? So did a little calculation, and it's 14,600 days. That's it. 14,600 days. Doesn't sound like much when you say it like that. When you say 40 years, you think, oh my gosh, 40 years down the line, so much time. But it really isn't. On that same table were more names. And it really got me to thinking, like, wow, we really don't have that much time. When you're getting out of high school, your future seems so vast and so out there. It's like, oh, 40 years, we'll be adults, we'll be this. But at my other high school in Peachtree City, Georgia, the very next day, one of our fellow students lost his life. His parents bought him a motorcycle, and he went out the next day and wrecked it. He was gone, 18 years old. Another friend of mine with that same class, Scott Brown, a couple years later after graduation, got cancer and he was gone. And then a few years ago in Greenville, Michigan, another friend of mine took his life after his high school sweetheart, who he'd been with since I think ninth grade, eighth grade, had died the year prior and he couldn't take it. And so he took his own life. 14,600 days. That's 40 years. As you go through the next week, think about, when did I graduate? Was it 1996, 1995, 2000? What is the 40-year mark from my graduation, high school graduation? And where am I? Am I 10,000 days in, 4,000 days in? And then ask yourself, what am I doing with my 14,600 days? Do I have a career that I really enjoy, or am I just kind of getting through? How's my family doing? Do I even speak to my family? How about those goals and dreams you had when you got out of high school? Many of us have this vision that life is going to be so perfect and great, and we're going to do all these great things, and then life hits, and we don't. We put it away, we put it down. And as we go into those 14,600 days, we start to hear about people that we went to school with, and we laughed with, and we have awesome memories with that are no longer here. We don't have all the time in the world. We think we do when we're young, And then we go through our 20s and we kind of figure things out. In the 30s, we start maybe working and starting a family. And in our 40s, we're like, oh, we're 40s now, or midlife. Blah. But now I'm in my 50s, late 50s. And it feels like yesterday that 1986 was here. June. It's hot. And I remember thinking, I got all this stuff I want to do. Just like a lot of my friends that have lost their lives from both high schools, Greenville, Michigan, and Peachtree City, Georgia. One of my good friends from Georgia, he lost his life at 47, just didn't wake up one day. That one really hit me because when I moved to Georgia, I was a new kid and he was the first one to kind of, show me around, befriend me a little bit. Then I met some other kids, but he was the first one. So when I heard that he was no longer here, which was weird because I was reaching out to him on Facebook, and then someone in the same class said, "Hey, didn't you hear about Chris?" And I said, "No, what's up?" They said, "Yeah, he passed away 2 days ago." And I was reaching out to him on Facebook, like, "Why isn't he reaching back out to me? What's going on?" Like, "Come on, dude, what's going on?" And I didn't know. My question to you is, where are you with your 14,600 days? And are you doing everything you wanted to do when you graduated high school? Have you written that book? Have you started that business? Have you traveled the world? Have you created something? Are you happy where you are? When you see that table of names represented by a candle, it makes you think, were they happy? Did they do everything they wanted to do? Because they didn't get their full 14,600 days. None of them. So we're sitting here sometimes complaining about life and complaining about our jobs, complaining about this and this isn't right and that's not right. Instead, take that same energy and do something positive for you, for other people, for your community. Do something that, if you're ever asked again, what are you doing with your 14,600 days? You can say, I'm doing this, or I have accomplished this, and now I'm doing this, because you don't know when it might end at 13.5. It might end at 12.6. It might end at 10. It might end at 9,000. We don't know. I look at the things that I've done, and, it's not sitting here trying to brag, but I've written a couple books, which I was told I would never do. I've won some advertising awards, which I was told I would never do. I'm trying to make the most out of every day. I try and instill that in my boys too. Like, hey, do everything you can because tomorrow truly is not guaranteed. If you want to make a real impact on others, start with yourself. Be a little selfish. You want to start that business, do it. You want to travel, find a way. If you want to help other people, start a nonprofit. Start something in your church. I've started 2 basketball leagues, and here's the thing. I am not a PhD. I'm not some genius, whatever, but I have a really strong innate drive to do things, especially when I'm told I can't do them. You'll never do them. That drives me more than anything. But find what motivates you. Find that thing inside you, that drive. Don't worry about fear. Fear is going to come and go. Fear is only a product of uncertainty of not knowing, so educate yourself. Ask questions. If you want to start a business, go talk to people. Find everything out. Eliminate that fear. Eliminate that uncertainty. Now, there's no guarantee any business is going to take off and be $1 million business. However, there is a guarantee that if you don't start, you'll never earn a dollar. You want to write a book? Write it. I was told I would never do anything like this. In fact, in 11th grade, I failed English. And I had to take summer school to go into my senior year. I was so nervous and so freaked out because all I could think about was failing. Instead of focusing on passing, I was only consumed with failing. And that's how life hits us sometimes. Instead of thinking of how great something can be if we really put in our effort, we think about all of the negatives. How are we going to feel? What will people think? What will happen? So we become almost paralyzed to our own effort. We just don't move. So, what I tell the young people that I work with, I have a theory called EPP, effort, passion, purpose. Make 100% effort in everything you do. I don't care if it's going to work. I don't care if it's writing a book. I don't care if it's mowing your yard. Make 100% effort in everything you do. And while you're doing it, figure out, well, what's my purpose here? What am I trying to do? And the passion part of it is that innate drive. I love doing this. I love working in the yard. I love baking cookies. I love doing whatever. You cannot be successful if you only have two of the three. And you will never be successful with just the one. You can work yourself to death, but if you don't know why you're doing it, you don't have a true passion for it. Yeah, you might get some success, but it won't be a true fulfillment. You'll look good on paper. If you have a passion for something, but you don't really work at it, it's like, yeah, I like it. It's a lot of fun, but again, you're not going to be successful. 14,600 days. When did you graduate high school? Figure out where you are on that calendar and figure out what can I do for the remaining days up to 40 years from high school. Now, hopefully, God willing, you'll live way past those 14,600 days. But 40 years is a pretty big milestone. And clearly, not everyone makes it. So, as you think about this, think about, how do I impact those around me? How do I impact myself? What am I afraid of? And really, what's the worst thing that can happen if I try? So even at our age, in our 50s, we still have fear, we have anxiety, we have self doubt, sometimes self sabotaging behavior, because many of us still have that 17, 18-year-old mindset going on. But there's so much in the world today that we can do. There's so much in the world today that can guide us in the right direction. But you got to figure out what it is you want to do and then do it. Don't let your fear of failure stop you. Don't let your fear of the amount of work it's going to take stop you. Don't let the fear of being successful stop you. Believe it or not, that's one of the many fears people have. Well, what if I have too much? What's going to happen? And oh my gosh, oh, the tax break. Oh, I won't have that anymore. Well, we allow the idea of success to stop us. If you're close to that 40-year mark, Maybe you just passed it. Reach out to some of your friends from high school. Not to brag or boast or figure out what they're doing, but to just say hello. And then ask the question, are you doing everything you thought you would do when we graduated? Have you exceeded all the dreams and goals you had? If there's something you still want to do, what's holding you back? Having those close friends from high school that remember you from kindergarten, fifth grade, bike rides down the street, parties in the basement at somebody's house, those are the people that you can reach out to the most because they've known you since you were just starting life. Who better to bring you up? It's weird when we think about it's only 14,600 days. Makes 40 years seem like nothing. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you're thinking about your 14,600 days. Let me know. Put something in the comments. Email me at leadyourteen@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you're doing. I'd love to hear how your life has turned out. I'd love to hear, if there's something that you want to do and you're afraid to do it. Let's get on a podcast and talk about it. Let's do it. All right. My name's Chris Mahan. Have a wonderful night. And, get out there and tackle those next years that you have, those next days that you have. Make the most of it. All right. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you real soon.